Hi everyone, welcome to another pick a card video on my channel. My name is Julie Ann Fay, and on this channel I do pick a card videos at the new and full moons. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. I love all of you for being here and wanting to co-create in the space of pick a card videos and picking a video reading within a pick a card. That was a little awkward. That helps you align with what you energetically need to see, hear, feel, and understand right now. So as I like to share when I do these videos, sometimes some of you may catch this, some of you may not, depending on the pile pick that I talk about it in. I don't actually preset a topic for these videos. I actually just go into it in the space of recording it around the new and the new or the full moon, and then letting kind of the topic emerge out of what the reveals are actually. And then I watch it back, and then I kind of like reverse engineer the topic question that the pick a card is about. So it's always really illuminating for me to see what comes through when I do these readings. So I have a couple announcements I want to go over, and then, chat a few bits about the full moon. So first up is that I do have 2 crystals that I'm selling, and I did advertise this on my Instagram. I may have also advertised it on my Facebook business page, but primarily on my Instagram, which is set to private. So if you do follow me on YouTube or on Facebook and you'd like to follow me on Insta, send me just a message request and just kind of let me know who you are, and I'm happy to accept you that way. I am in a lot of public spaces. I have my Etsy, I have my Facebook page, I have my YouTube, I have a lot. So as of right now, my Insta is private because it's a combination of my business as well as just like personal things. So that's why it's private right now, but please just message request and I'm happy to, just introduce yourself or whatnot, and I'm happy to add you. So yeah, I've got this gorgeous Shiva Lingam piece, which is a really juicy piece, and shout out to Roxx Polish. I recently just painted my nails with her crystal infused nail polish. So this is lapis lazuli. Actually, no, is it? Let me check. Yeah, it is lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli, and then forget what everything is tonight. And tiger's eye, which is grounding. And then I also applied some sage goddess tattoos. So yeah. So this Shiva Lingam, this is wonderful for sacral chakra, and this is having a little bit of trouble focusing, but it'll come back. So this is really, really great for sacral chakra and is wonderful for Kundalini awakening, really trying to raise and stimulate the energy from the lower chakras up to the higher ones. And, this stone is actually harvested in India from like a very sacred river, and it's like a very special thing. Typically you will find Shiva Lingams that are like really small, so it's nice to get a big one, and sometimes you can find them like really, really big. So this one's a really nice size piece to work with. And I have this one set at a price of $22. The other crystal I'm selling is a bit more, and I am offering a discount if you buy them both together. Sorry, this is like not focusing. Let's see if it comes back. Okay, we're good. So Shiva Lingam is for sale, as well as this pink amethyst moon, which is a gorgeous piece. And it's it's quite heavy actually. You guys obviously can't feel how heavy it is through the video, but it's a really nice piece. And pink amethyst is a rare form of amethyst. Usually you see amethyst as purple, right? Like this beautiful little guy. So this is pink amethyst, which is rare, and therefore it is a bit more expensive. And the reason why I'm selling these crystals is not because there's anything wrong with them. They're beautiful pieces. I just need to kind of create some more space, and I definitely would like to bring in more funds through the selling of certain crystals. So that's kind of why I'm looking to rehome these crystal babies. And, this is just a really beautiful piece. You could keep this on your altar where you keep your oracle decks or even essential oils, and it will definitely raise the vibe. Pink amethyst is really good for emotional healing and wonderful for the heart chakra. It is also spiritually protective like amethyst would be, but it has a bit more of a focus towards the heart chakra because of the pink coloring. And it really does have like a very beautiful, subtle pink. Almost could be like very, very pale purple in some ways. And it looks even better in, of course, natural sunlight because, you know, here you're kind of getting it through this artificial light. But I do have a picture of it in natural sunlight as well on my Insta. So please hit me up if you're interested in these. So this one is priced at $22. This one is $44, but I am offering a pretty significant discount if you buy both together, because then I can ship them both together. So let me know if you're interested in those. Also, I want to do a shout out because I'm doing a Yule sale on my Etsy shop. This is going on through New Year's Eve, so effectively the rest of this month, and it's 25% off orders of $25 and up. So it's a wonderful opportunity to jump in on getting something like a solstice ahead reading. Even if you don't catch it in time, obviously the solstice is coming up really fast now, but I can still do it even if you're kind of purchasing that a few days later, a week, or even 2 weeks later. I can still do it a little bit retroactively because the solstice ahead reading is actually looking at the next 6 months ahead. So it's not actually about just like the solstice itself. It's about the next 6 months in the cards. I also have year ahead readings. This is a really popular time to get year ahead readings. So definitely get in on that with the discount while you can. Those readings do take me longer to do. So typically the later you buy it, the longer you'll have to wait because there might be like a queue that's starting to form. But that one, both of those would be eligible for the 25% off because they're above $25. I've also got a season ahead reading. I think that one might come up just under, but you could add in a spiritual curriculum or something and then get the discount that way. The season ahead reading would be for the next 3 months. And this discount is across cards and astro on my shop. So it includes a lot of stuff. So this is a really good time to hop on getting a reading if you're interested, or stocking up on some of my spiritual curriculums. So I'm just going to show you guys my Etsy shop real quick. And if you are in my membership group, so Fearlessly Fairy is my membership group for cards, and then I have Astro Fairy, which is my membership group for Astro. You can use your discount code on Etsy still with the discount going on. So for you guys, it's like a super, super good deal. And then if you're in my Patreon, you also have a discount code, so you might want to experiment with that as well. So let's pop over here to this just to show you guys real quick. So my Etsy is at etsy.com/shop/Julie-Ann-Fay-Healing. It is linked like everywhere. It's in the description of this video. It's linked on my website. It's on my Facebook page. It's in my link tree and my Insta bio is like everywhere. But so basically you guys can see here, so Yule sale until 12/31. Any like really important announcements, FYI, for my shop, I will update at the top of this. And I always encourage you to drop that, read more, because I do update this periodically and include different notes about things. So it's a good place to look for like shop announcements. So year ahead readings would be this guy, and you can see it shows this like dotted line, eligible orders get 25% off. So this is the price without the discount applied yet. And basically once you go to the cart, it will show you if you've reached above $25. So clearly this reading would, and it'll give you the discount, which is pretty sweet. You know, I'm not sure if it shows you actually on the page itself. I think that it doesn't show you the discount until you get to like your cart. It'll apply it there. But this is a really juicy reading because this is the next 12 months ahead in the cards. And this would be a great time to get one of those to understand what's cooking for you in 2022. And I give you more details about all of that there. I also would do a shout out to the solstice ahead reading, which if you're not looking to do a full year, well, you could do a half year, and that's my solstice ahead reading. I also have a even shorter one, which is the season ahead reading. And this guy is, hold on, I just want to close out this one tab. The season ahead reading is for the next 3 months ahead. And I thought that this price was different than that. I may have to check on that, but I may have raised the price because sometimes I do periodically raise my rates and things like that. But this one would also at this price be included in the discount. And that's what I have to say there. So of course, there's also Astro offerings on here. If you want to look specifically, I encourage you to use this little sidebar here, because on this sidebar, you can see spiritual curriculums. You could just shop the spiritual curriculums. You could just shop angel card readings, just shop Astro readings. This particular one, which is a fab one, I love this one so much. I'm actually in the process of updating this one right now. In fact, the PDF itself is updated. I worked really hard on this one, updating it, and it's even juicier and even better than like my first go around with it. I want to add one more thing to it. And I was hoping to get that ready for this particular pick a card video / full moon newsletter issue, but it just didn't work out in time. So I will be updating this one definitely before the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. And the price will go up, but you're going to get more from it. But yeah, it's a really, really good one and I'm really excited. So I'll be talking about this one again, but I wanted to do a shout out to my Etsy shop so that you guys could see the Yule sale going on and just some specific offerings there. And of course, all support of my small business is super duper appreciated. And then you give yourself the chance to receive some spiritual healing and it's a win for all. So with that being said, this particular full moon is at the very, very end of Sagittarius season, right? We enter Capricorn season in just a couple days. The winter solstice is coming up fast now on, the 20th of December. So it's coming up real soon. And, the winter solstice is when we launch into cardinal earth. It's when we go into Capricorn season. So we're in the final couple of days of Sagittarius season here. And we've got the full moon because we've got the moon moving through Gemini. And of course, anytime we have two signs opposing one another, that's when we have a full moon. This particular full moon has been on my natal Chiron at the end of Gemini. So it's been a weird one for me, a lot of healing, a lot of releasing and emotional releasing as well, because it's been also in my 8th house, which is a Scorpio ruled house. It definitely took me some motivation to just get up and make this video for you guys, but I put on some makeup and I do feel happy to be here now. But it's been a much more like behind the scenes introspective energy of a lot of just like self-witnessing and healing and emotional releasing and various things there approaching this particular full moon. And also I was coming off a really, really heavy work intensive new moon, which we had in Sagittarius, which was conjunct my Saturn. So I think I also kind of needed a bit of a slowdown. But depending on where your energy aligns, you might be either speeding up or slowing down now. It kind of depends, there is a lot of mutability right now because Gemini and Sagittarius are both mutable signs. I'm already a mutable sign because I'm a Virgo. So there's a lot of changeable energy. To be honest, that's going to start to shift as we go into Capricorn season because we're going to have a lot more planets moving into Capricorn. And of course, we're starting even just in another day from me recording this on the 18th, we're starting Venus retrograde in Capricorn, which to be honest, we've been starting to get inklings and feelings of what this is about already, probably for even the past week or week and a half, because Venus has been transiting at the end of Capricorn. So we've had Venus in Capricorn for a bit already, and it's already been within orb to Pluto, So I do actually talk a lot about the Venus retrograde in one of my spiritual curriculums. It's the Girl's Guide to Astrological Retrograde. So if you want to learn more about this Venus retrograde and the upcoming Mercury retrograde in January, which is coming up really soon now, it's all in that Girl's Guide to Astrological Retrogrades curriculum. Okay. And I'm sure I'll be writing about it when the time is right. But right now I'm just really focused on some of these spiritual curriculums. I'm really enjoying writing them and putting those teachings out. So sometimes I am taking some of my content that I usually would put in my blogs and I am putting them into these spiritual curriculums. And it's been a really resourceful way to get that knowledge out to people as well. So yeah, but definitely there's going to be a lot going down with this Venus retrograde where it is a lot of interest, well, let me just back up a hair, right? So as I always like to share with people, there's what I call fast food astrology, which is when people put out these like sound bites that they try to encapsulate what something is about astrologically in like a short little thing, and the reality is that astrology is very nuanced and it works in layers. So number one thing I would tell you is you're going to start seeing more of that. And bear in mind, whatever you read, you're always going to be comparing that to what's in your own natal chart. And not everybody's going to have the same experience with a particular astrological transit because we're all different. We have a different energetic makeup, right? That's why it's also really good to work with a professional astrologer like moi, because I can look at all those nuances and I can advise you with stuff like that, you know? So, you know, but needless to say, Venus retrograde in Capricorn, I'm just playing around with my lighting. I want to do a shout out to Barb, my friend Barb, who owns Southern Magnolia Minerals. It's a mineral-based makeup company. Definitely check it out. She's on Instagram and is also a fellow female entrepreneur like myself and small business owner. She supported me to get a new small ring light to help me because my other one just completely stopped working. So thank you, Barb. If you're watching this, I so appreciate you, and it's working and it's helping, so we're good. But you know, with this Venus retrograde in Capricorn, this is going to bring in the energy of Venus and Saturn, right? So there will be a lot of restructuring around relationships, but Venus also relates to other things besides relationships. It rules our values, right? Because think about where Venus is at home. It's at home in Libra and it's at home in Taurus. So this relates to our values, our sense of beauty, aesthetics. It also relates to our, the way that we are managing our money in many ways as well too, because, you know, Venus is related to all forms of value, including the relationship we have with money. And because it's in Capricorn, there is a really strong emphasis on work and career and corporations and companies and business and that kind of vibe and stability, you know. So there is a lot of energy about this particular Venus retro around financial systems and money and housing and security and building things, which is all Capricornian. Now, you of course want to look in your natal chart. What house is Capricorn for you? You know, because that's going to give you a lot more information about what's going to come up for you in this Venus retrograde, right? And Venus retrogrades also typically do relate to women and the energy of the feminine because it's Venus. So you may find that there's a lot that's coming out related to women or just women. There could be trouble or difficulties with women in many types of ways because it's Venus retrograde. So it's retrograde Venus energy, which is a lot of like things need to be worked through. They need to be addressed there, right? So yeah, I'm gonna kind of table it at that because to be honest, this Venus retrograde is going to last for quite a long time. It will be officially retrograde for about 6 weeks, so like about a month and a half, but the actual like clearing out of the shadow will go on for even longer than that. So I will be talking about this again and again. So I don't want to say too much now. And I also do have a bunch in that curriculum. So I encourage you to check that out if you want to learn more. So with that being said, I want to show you guys the decks because I always like to give credit where credit is due. And I have been trying to link the decks in the description of this video. And, you know, I am an Amazon affiliate. So if you click through those links, it does support my spiritual business at no additional cost to you. I'm just drafting the links at the price they are. But because you are clicking it through my link, it's actually helping me support my business. So if you're interested in one of these decks, please support me by clicking through the links, and that would be lovely. So we have the Good Witch Tarot, and I always forget the name of the person that designed this deck. I can't remember right now, but it's the Good Witch Tarot. We have Healing with the Fairies by DV. We have Spell Casting Oracle cards by Flavia Kate Peters. And we have Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And then I actually am going to get my Astro Dice out, which are super buried at the moment. Okay, so we'll put some Astro Dice in the mix as well. And then I may pull in another deck. We'll see how I feel. But with that being said, I'm going to queue up the 3 piles off camera as I like to do. It's just so much easier and more efficient. And I will be right back. All right, I felt like I needed a little bit more lighting, so I put on a second light and we'll see how we do. I'm troubleshooting on the fly for you guys. Lighting is probably one of the trickiest things about recording videos. Actually, I take that back. There's a lot of tricky things about recording videos. There's sound, there's video quality, there's so much. It's a whole world, which is why I really, really appreciate those of you that are checking out my Patreon, supporting me on Patreon, because it helps a ton with just all of these logistical things that go into trying to produce a good quality video. So let's get into our pile pick, as I always like to share with people, you know. And just before I get into that, I just want to do a quick shout out. I did also include the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Last minute, I threw those in. So as I always like to encourage people, when you're doing a pick a card video, make sure that you are in a calm place, right? So taking some deep breaths. And just really centering yourself and feeling grounded and calm. Pick a card videos are not meant to, they're not meant to be the end all be all of your life, right? And you will see pick a card videos that are extremely clickbaity, you know, like you need to know this right now. And typically that's to just get you to click on the thumbnail to watch the video, you know. But really, like, a good pick a card video is designed to really give you that nourishment, that soul to soul connection with the reader about energetically, what am I aligning to right now on this particular topic, and what is it that I need to see, hear, feel, and understand. So I always encourage people to use pick a card videos as a complement to understanding your current vibration, and not like, you know, the ultimate like doctor prescription about what you need to do, see, or understand in your life. These are meant to be a guide and to be like a tool for you to connect with your intuition, instead of like the mandate of your life or something like that, you know? So therefore, it's good to be at a somewhat neutral position when you're doing a pick a card video. You could be a little bit anxious or maybe a little bit angry, but if you're like too much on either end of that, it's probably not the best time, because even if you hear the reading, you're maybe not going to process it, you know, as best you could, you know. And I will say also, if you're really, really tired or sleep deprived, that also might not be the best time to listen to a pick card video. So just trying to be, as Abraham Hicks would say, in the receptive mode is always best, you know. So with that being said, you can use the energy of the cards. You can use your hand as a divination tool to help you with picking the card. Some people will just know just by seeing it. Clairsentiently, you might feel it or just get a strong urge about it. You can also use the timestamps in the description to help you to make your decision as well. Sometimes that's just an easy and nifty way to go about it. So this is the energy of pile 1. And this is the energy of pile 2. And this is the energy of pile 3. All right, so then I'm going to hold all 3 up together to the best of my ability. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I know which pile I'm drawn to. All right, so with that being said, I am going to roll into pile 1's reading. If you do need more time, just pause the video, go back, rewatch, and or use the timestamps to help you as well. And I will see you at your pile pick. All right, I was just playing around with my lighting a little bit, and it always cracks me up because I am wearing like not like a ton of makeup. I'm not someone that wears a ton of makeup, but I am wearing like a little bit of makeup that's definitely noticeable in photos. And it's just funny when you put the lighting, because it's like, it's just crazy like how videos and just like this medium goes, because there's a reason why like actors do wear a lot of makeup when they're on stage, because the lighting like washes out the makeup. Even if you have makeup on, it like really washes it out. So then it's like you have to put more on to like make the effect like more dramatic. It's very interesting. Very interesting problems that occur with these things. So let's get into your reading pile 1 and see what we got. So let me just take a second to acclimate to your cards. I am going to pull a chakra love card here. I am now having issues because I've got a glare as I look at your cards. Okay, I think that is good. Pulling an extra card for you guys with this deck here, just for a little bit more. We had 2 pop out, 3, and that's too many. I'm not doing 3. Sorry. Oh my gosh, we got 3 again. Do you guys like really, really need divination magic right now? Because the cards are a flow in here. Okay. I need to troubleshoot this lighting because now I'm fussing. I'll be right back. All right, we are good. I'm gonna try my best to not move the lighting and just keep going the way it is. Full moon in Gemini in my 8th house on my Chiron problems. So it's interesting. So right away, you guys got the throat chakra truth. Speak from your heart is the only thing worth listening to. So, you know, interesting. This is also having trouble focusing. So it would just focus just right there. So there could be something that is trying to come into clearer focus for you in your life, okay? You guys do have the 6th chakra archangel Metatron. So there's something here that maybe you're having difficulty seeing. You could feel like your 3rd eye is maybe a bit weakened right now, or you're just trying to really get into that Sagittarius energy. This is very Saggy here with the truth card and the 3rd eye. This is like seeing the higher truth, seeing beyond the current reality into like future truths, that kind of vibe. We do also have Queen of Wands. Actually, wait, before I go there, they want me to go over here. So kind of related to this, we have the dark mysteries. Enter the chamber of the dark goddess, okay? Now, I'm going to read from the guidebook with this one because I'm not familiar with this exact card, but I am getting that this is kind of related to this vibe about you seeking this higher truth, doing a lot of visioning and 3rd eye work to try and understand maybe things that are yet to be understood. There could be things that are in like your future timeline that you're trying to kind of feel into the energy of, but there's still some stuff about it that's like unknown and murky. And that's why you're really trying to work on, you know, your 3rd eye right there. So let's see what we have from the guidebook with this one. So we have the dark mysteries. Give me 1 second. Can't find the dark mysteries. They're so elusive that I can't find it. So you guys definitely got this vibe of like something is eluding you in terms of clarity or truth, or you just want to see more into the future, but it's like not there. Okay, so I'm actually really having trouble finding it. So I really feel like that is part of your reading. Let me see where this is. Here we are. Okay, so it worked out to be deeper into the book. So the answer to like kind of what you're divining about might be that it's a little bit further out in the timeline that you can almost perceive of. You know, I know for myself with my 3rd eye and my intuition, typically I can really, really feel into the energy of something that's like within 3 months out. As I go to more like 6 months out, it's still there, but it's murkier. And then beyond 6 months, it's much harder. And if you think about it, there's a lot that can happen in your life between now and beyond 3 months, right? So it could be that those things that you're trying to tap into in that visioning, they're not yet fully formed because there's things that you have to navigate through in the 3D before those particular threads of that manifestation can pick up and kind of take off speed. And then there's also free will. So if what you're trying to manifest involves the free will of other people, that's also kind of a competing factor in trying to push that timeline out and get clarity, because they have free will as well in the situation. And so it says, the dark goddess calls to you to enter her inner chamber, where she holds a test and a gift for you. The test is your willingness to meet and release the fears within that have been secretly holding you back. The gift is freedom, peace, opportunity, and prosperity in all its forms. Will you accept her call? Your time for deeper initiation is here. So I'm going to intuitively scan, as I like to do when I read from the guidebook, for deeper cards like this for you guys. So it says, more often for advanced souls, it actually means surrendering our will into alignment with greater forces of divine will, allowing us to consciously participate in the flow of life, sensing the signs and nudges that lead us towards our greatest manifestation of soul this lifetime. This is what Isis, as the dark goddess, teaches us, not to be afraid to go into the dark places and the difficult feelings within. And those parts that we once reviled often blossom and turn into our greatest assets and a more conscious, helpful version of themselves. We need radical trust to do this inner work and take her initiation. The dark goddess will support and nurture you through her tests as she guides you to receive the gift of more of yourself, no longer shackled in fear and hidden away, but ready to be in the world with brightness and vigor. And there is an initiation. I highly recommend getting this oracle deck if you're really interested in working more with goddess Isis. Also, Alana Fairchild has an app that you can buy where she does have guided visualizations and audio meditations related to various things that complement this book. So there's always an incantation at the end of these as well. And it says, sublime Isis, dark and sweet, through you, my hidden self, I meet. I honor this self and accept. No longer do I fear, shame, or regret. You gift me with my self complete, sublime Isis, dark and sweet. So it's interesting. I'm really, really drawn to the kind of imagery around dark and sweet, because that perfectly complements what I was channeling at the beginning of this reading, which was about Venus in Capricorn, Venus retrograde in Capricorn and conjuncting Pluto. So if you did skip the beginning, please go back and rewatch. I always share some business announcements there, as well as talk about a little bit about the new or full moon. So yes, with this kind of Venus Pluto energy, that's going to be really prevalent pretty much through multiple pulses of this Venus retrograde. It won't be every day of the Venus retrograde, but there will be like significant chapters in the Venus retro more than once where we'll be operating with this Venus Pluto energy. And this is a lot about bringing out those secrets, purging those deeper things. So there is kind of an energy here of shadow work, you know, with this card, kind of like combining the work of the divine feminine and the goddess with also shadow work. And there could be situations here where you are needing to speak your truth, you know, with the truth card here. But I think also there's an encouragement here for you to stand in your power with this Queen of Wands vibe. You know, the Queen of Wands is very like sultry and magnetic. She's not afraid of being, you know, she's not afraid of being in situations and places and putting herself out there to magnetize to her what she wants, you know, and she knows how to get stuff done, and she's willing to call people into her energy field to help co-create what she wants, you know, and she's an excellent leader in that way. So I almost see this as like a really beautiful manifestation of this, like almost like Venus Scorpio vibes in a way, which Venus retrograde in Capricorn with Pluto will give us Venus retrograde Capricorn with some Scorpio energy, right? So there is kind of this like Venus Scorpio vibe that you're channeling here with trying to honor and acknowledge these hidden things that are coming up and out that maybe you're speaking your truth about, as well as just having the courage and the perseverance to confront that shadow work within yourself. What is it that you're holding back on within yourself, you know, that's preventing you from being like your full Queen of Wands self? You know, it's interesting too, there's really strong dragon imagery in this card, and I have been working with like my dragon oracle deck by Diana Cooper a lot lately. So you might want to look into working with the dragons, and I highly recommend checking out the work of Diana Cooper for that, because she's like an amazing high vibe angelic soul that teaches about unicorn energy and dragon guides and all of that. She's wonderful. So if you're drawn to more of this protective kind of fire energy, check out Diana Cooper and working with dragons. She even has a course called Meet the Dragons, which I don't know what the price is now, but when I took it, it was very affordable. And that will tell you a lot about just, you know, learning how to work with different dragon guides and call in the dragon guide energy. So this is beautiful energy that I see you, wanting to tap into. And it's almost like you're on this journey of truth and this journey of kind of visioning to believe in yourself and to continue seeking out that truth to get more and more into this vibe. I do think that this might be a little bit of a struggle for you right now because we do have positive expectations, okay, which is in reverse. It came up in reverse. So you might be having a little bit of trouble keeping positive right now. Maybe you are a bit overburdened and it's hard for you to focus on the good. You do also have 10 of Wands, and this did also come up in reverse. So when the 10 of Wands comes up in reverse, for me, that means that this is like overburdened. So this combo of these two cards together, it's like you've been like really pushing yourself, or you've had a lot of responsibility on your plate, and it's just been a lot, and because of that, you may have lost a little bit of your hope and your ability to keep positive. So we do have this card here of well-being, which to me is saying, really like stop and take some time to ground. Look how she's completely laying in the earth. So I don't know if it's possible for you to even do that right now, but just really take like a time out and just allow yourself to reset your vibration here. Okay. It's interesting. There is like a full moon in that card, and this is a full moon that I'm channeling for. So there's definitely this vibe of like needing to do a bit of rebalancing. And I'm also drawn to the mountains in the background of that card, which is like very Capricorn to me. So there's this journey that you're going on, which is requiring of your strength and energy. It's requiring of your kind of dark goddess and queen of wands kind of vibes here. And you're going to need your full strength to do it. So it's important for you to take breaks as needed. It's important for you to focus on balancing, bringing in your spiritual practices and your spiritual tools that help you support like mental and emotional well-being. I know for myself, like the last lunar cycle we had with the full moon in Sag, which we're now coming to the completion of, I always like to do a shout out to the fact that whenever we have a newer full moon, it does take us 2 weeks to fully integrate the lessons of that newer full moon. So that particular full moon leading up to it, and then really kind of most of the cycle was like heavy, like push, like divine masculine work energy for me in multiple life areas. And as we started to get closer to this particular full moon, which is in my 8th house, which is a Scorpio house, and it's also on my Chiron, which is a lot about healing. There's been a lot of like slow down, reset, rebalance, and then you can get up again and do more, but slow down, rebalance, get back to a more centered place. So you guys might be going through something similar. Typically, I do find that like I go through an experience and then an opportunity comes up where I'm channeling information for people and I can relate to that experience like I just went through. So I see you guys as maybe like at the beginning of that timeline where maybe just now you're realizing like, yeah, I'm overworked, I'm overwhelmed, or I'm feeling more cynical or more negative, and I need to kind of take a time out. So whenever this card does come up with this reverse 10 of wands, this is also an encouragement for you to see who can you delegate certain things to. Is there someone in your life that you can ask for help or support with to watch the kiddos or watch the fur kiddos or help you with the cooking or the laundry or things like that while you're trying to deal with these other things? This is a major card that's saying like ask for the help that you need, okay, from people like in the 3D. You can also, of course, be asking your angelic team who are like the best people to help. And then with this positive expectations, like take time every day to really just, whether that works for you via meditation, if that's your thing. For me, like positive affirmations work, like actually writing them out is really powerful for me. But just taking time every day, or as many days as you can, or even if I say every day and you're like, oh, I can't, even just like pick like a certain number and be like, okay, I commit to doing positive affirmations 3 out of 7 days a week or 5 out of 7 days a week. It doesn't have to be a really long process. It could be like just 5 minutes of your day, but just consciously like retraining yourself to have these more positive, nurturing, supportive thoughts for yourself, okay? Because I see you guys getting into like so much goodness here, integrating your shadow, speaking your truth, visioning for the future, but there is a little bit of a need for taking a little bit of this stress and this burden off of you and focusing on more of this well-being right now, because this is not very fun over here, I'm actually thinking of one of my friends specifically as I talk about this. It's funny. So Astro Dice, let's get some Astro Dice for you guys just to round this out. Okay, so we have Saturn in Virgo. Okay. Definitely a very hardworking placement, Saturn in Virgo. Although it can get very lost in like, okay, I need to focus on like all the little things, but it's very service oriented and definitely also has a bit of a health vibe to it. Saturn in Virgo is a lot of karmic work around restructuring in your health and really just trying to take charge of your health. And with the ninth house here, this is a Sagittarius ruled house. So this is about thinking positively and focusing on certain belief systems, right? So there's a need here to really work on, in some regards, like your physical health, and the responsibilities you have. And, Virgo relates to those day-to-day routines. So I see this as you finding ways to delegate some of those day-to-day routines to ask other people, can you help me with this? I know normally this is kind of what I do, but I need a little help right now because I'm really out of balance and it's starting to affect my health. So can you help me with this? And just calling on certain people to help you, and it doesn't have to be like people that you live with. It could be friends, it could be neighbors, it could be just other people there too, yeah, so you guys need to take a bit of a time out here and focus on your well-being, and interestingly, as I picked up the cards, this card went upright. So I think as you do that, as you shift even just a little bit, like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days towards more self-care, more balance, you're going to start to see like it gets better quick, because you've honored your needs in that way. And then it's like, okay, I can start to pick up things again, but in a more balanced way, So that's what I have for you, Pile 1 peeps. I'm sending you so much love and light. Please give this video a like, drop a comment down below if you just let me rephrase. Drop a positive, supportive comment down below. It always helps me to want to come back and record more videos when I see you guys, just interacting positively and sharing your experiences with certain pick a card readings. Please pardon me if I'm tripping up with my words. There's so much that I've been speaking lately, so I'm a little talked out. But yeah, I love hearing from you guys. This positive support that you drop in the comments honestly makes me want to come back and record more videos. It's like important, and it does also help my channel. So if you are watching these videos and like not leaving comments, unfortunately, like just watching it doesn't actually support my channel, and as compared to like dropping some love in the comments, even if it's just heart emojis, liking the video. Of course, supporting me on Patreon is also a really, really great way to support me with my channel as well. But I do love when people watch my videos. Sometimes I just have no idea because people don't comment, stuff like that. So I encourage people to leave supportive comments because this way I can know that you are here. And then also it's great because we learn from one another by seeing how each of us are so different with what we're going through in our lives, but yet we can relate to like a particular reading in each of our own ways. It's so fascinating, and then of course I have a PayPal in the description as well. And donations are encouraged if you'd like to leave a donation. Okay, pile 2. These are the cards for you. I've been playing around with my lighting all this video because I've got a different lighting setup and I'm adjusting to it. Okay, cool. So pile 2 peeps, I'm just laying out your cards, getting acclimated to their energies. I'm also having a moment because I always pick a pile when I do the readings as well. Of course, like I can really relate to something from every pile, but it's interesting because sometimes I get like a really clear, like this particular pile, like you need to hear kind of vibe. So let me also pull from Chakra Love for you guys. I did that for pile 1 peeps. And I do have an Astro Dice. I'll roll those towards the end. Oh, wow. So you guys got 2 solar plexus chakra cards. So good. Wow. So you got Shine. You are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. Love this. This is the pile I picked. Confidence. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. Every time I read that card, I always think of that song. And I know I've talked about this on another pick a card video, and I even linked the link of the guy that sings it. I forget what his name is, but he has a song where he has a lyric that's literally like, be your own cheerleader. So you guys are working on really strong solar plexus vibes here. You know, I already feel a shift in the energy from pile one. Pile one, there was a much more of a heaviness, literally like the energy of a heavy burden. And I myself even was starting to feel kind of heavier and depressed just being in that energy space. And now as I get to your pile, I feel a little bit more of an excitement and a lightness here, which makes sense because we have the solar plexus chakra vibes. Okay. And if this is not resonating with you, if you're not feeling like your energy is light, this might not be the pile. You know, you might want to kind of retune in because I do see a lot of lightness here and a lot of enthusiasm. Okay. And then we've also got passion. So this is like a lot of fire. Okay. So you're really here in your solar plexus chakra and also embodying the fire in your natal chart or just channeling a lot of fire vibes right now. You know, this could be also a good indicator that like when we're in a fire season, you get really empowered, really motivated with that. So Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, you get really motivated during those times and also potentially during fire moons. It's interesting. So we have, where do I want to go? A couple of things here. We also have Page of Wands. Okay. So this also is complementing kind of this fire. You're on this new adventure. There's things that you're exploring, things that you're doing. This has been literally my focus card for December. So it's super funny, Page of Wands and Two of Pentacles in particular. So it's just really funny to see this again. And like, this is the pile I picked. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm. Page of Wands is very curious. You know, he's just at the beginning of the journey, but it's like he has like friends with him. He's got the salamander there. He's got his trusty kind of furry companion. So he's not alone on this journey. He's just a little bit like still learning. You know, you could see like he's not as, he's definitely nowhere near as established as like the King of Wands, right? Or the Queen of Wands. And he's not really like the Knight of Wands where he's kind of like rushing in to do something and then kind of leaving. He's like, no, I'm committed to this journey. I'm still learning. Pages are a little bit more of a youthful vibe. Okay. So I see you like just really stepping into your confidence and feeling more emboldened, more passionate with this new journey that you're on. Okay. Now, we have almost like a totally split energy going on with the rest of the cards, which is really interesting, but we'll see kind of how this weaves together. So but I am seeing them pairing up. So we have Door to Romance and then Miracle of Isis, Miraculous Healing of the Goddess. So this is a beautiful, beautiful energy here. Okay. And in particular with this card, it actually reminds me of this card in my, getting the exact name of the deck, but it's Lucy Cavendish's Big Fairy deck. And there is a card in that deck that's called Carry Me Home. And this just is like the perfect complement to it, but in the Egyptian kind of mystery school vibe. It's a lot about like the divine masculine coming in to support the divine feminine and like a really powerful positive union of these two energies, right? And in its more, in like the purest form, right? The divine masculine is providing that supportive container for all of the iterations and all of the emotions and all of the fluctuations of the divine feminine, right? And then likewise, the divine feminine is stimulating the divine masculine to see that they can emote and they can tap into that kind of like creative vortex energy. But when they're combined together, it's so powerful because you get this energy of like, the divine feminine represents, right, the womb space and that creativity energy. And it's also about just like the capacity of all there is. It's ultimate creative energy, really. And birth energy, it's super duper omega powerful, which is why it's been tried to be controlled and suppressed throughout history, you know, because it's so powerful. And it can go through so many different shades and colors and have so many variations, right? From Kali and Lilith vibes all the way to like Mother Mary and, you know, Kuan Yin, right? Like there's just such a spectrum, the divine feminine in terms of how it can express itself. So with the divine masculine, it's like the best combination of like the divine masculine and the divine feminine is when we have that really creative, like passionate, all the way up to like super fiery, like Kali goddess vibe, all the way, you know, not that one is better than the other, they're just on a spectrum. And I'm just kind of giving you an idea. All the way to the other side of the spectrum, which is like Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, which is like ultimate mothering and nurturing and like unconditional love and support in that way. And the divine masculine can hold space for all of that. It's like, I got you, whether you're in your Kali and your Lilith, or whether you're in your Kuan Yin and your Mother Mary, like I got you. So this is definitely like an energy here of some type of really strong partnership that's coming in, which is heart opening and is very supportive, okay? Where there is just really this really strong energy of support and being carried and being able to be seen and honored for all of the different versions of yourself. And it works both ways. So even though I'm kind of leaning a bit more talking towards the divine feminine side of this, it works both ways, where it's also like the divine feminine is also seeing the divine masculine for their strength and their leadership abilities and inspiring them. So it does go both ways here. So this is a really beautiful energy. And this to me also indicates like just the way this card is represented as well, like this real heart opening, you know? So whoever this connection is that's coming in, it's definitely serving to open your heart and show you that you can be safe with this person. You can be supported with this person. Okay. So it's a really, really beautiful thing here. And this new journey that you're going on with this passion, it could be with this person, but I almost feel like this is you stepping in your life in this type of vibe. And then as a result of you stepping into that, you're attracting this, you know. It's almost like you're supporting yourself by saying like, yeah, this is who I am. I stand in my power of what I'm passionate about and the journey I want to go on in my life. And because you're standing in your confidence and your power and your passion, you then are attracting in the right people that are supportive and loving to you, you know. Now it's interesting because we have this, like I said, totally opposite energy on the other side of the spread, where we have kindness coming up in reverse. Okay. If that is focusing, I do not know. This is what it looks like upright. It almost looks like share to me. It's very funny. But this coming up in reverse. And then we also have 5 of Swords coming up upright. So these two cards actually are a super complement to one another. Okay. So it's interesting because it's like the energy is very split here, because on one side we've got this going on, which is this like really, really supportive partner that's coming in, you know, holding space for you, being loving, being supportive, a real like pairing of two energies that like really works, that functions really well. But then we've also got this vibe. Okay, so who are these people? Maybe you know, as I'm talking about this, who these people are, but this is a lot of like conflict energy, you know, maybe like harsh words being said or cruel words being said. This can be like squabbles, you know, this can be like just like petty dramas and like conflicts. Now this can be within yourself, but I'm really getting the vibe this is between other people. And it's interesting because the way it's depicted on this card, you know, it is all women. And I'm just thinking about this upcoming Venus retrograde. So maybe there's some people in your life that maybe there are like some girlfriends or just some women in your circle, whether that's through career or something in your social circle, where there is kind of dramas going on, you know, and like the people are not treating one another well. I'm going to get another tarot card to just kind of go in a little bit more with this. What is this about? So it's almost like there's, okay, so we have 7 of Wands. So this is definitely an energy of stand your ground. You could feel defensive. You could feel like you're being kind of a little bit like your back's up against the wall and you have to like defend yourself, okay, with these people. Let's get one more here. I am getting the strong sense that this is like some kind of Venus retrograde, kind of like conflicts with women vibe. 2 of Swords, so there could be a little bit of like, you don't know what to choose, or there's some indecisiveness with these people. And let's get one more. Okay, we have Ace of Cups and also 4 of Swords wanted to come out. So this Ace of Cups, to me, this is about this thing here. This beautiful kind of connection that's coming in, offering this cup to you, which is loving, which is supportive, literally a supportive container, which is what this card is really showing, right? Beautiful vibes over there in terms of potentially something romantic or just someone that's like a really, really deep, loving connection in some type of way. Take it as it resonates. And then we've also got the 4 of Swords here. Okay, so what I'm getting is that it's almost like right now there are multiple energy streams in your life that you could tap into. One of them is this like passionate Page of Wands, confident and creative. I'm doing this, I'm having this, I'm going on this path vibe. Okay, so that's like one thing. Then you've got this kind of thing going on here, which is like this potential love connection blossoming, or this just like energy that's just unfurling and allowing itself to become fuller and brighter in some type of way. And then you got this this vibe going on, okay, which is some type of bitterness or squabbles, or like this is petty squabbles too, I will say, but just like sometimes just like not being on the same page, not knowing what to do, feeling either defensive or unsure about what to do related to these people, you know. But with kindness in reverse, it's like it doesn't feel good, like maybe harsh words are being said, or there's some type of energy exchange with it that's really not fun. But because we have the Four of Swords, this to me indicates that as these situations come up, just detach from the situation, take a break from it, and then come back to it. Sometimes it's just a difference of like a couple days, and you'll find that it's like already taking care of itself. I know so I can totally relate to all of these energies right now simultaneously, because I picked this pile. But you know, I was going through this a bit earlier this week where I was trying to get some stuff done, and I was calling like different customer service things, and I was getting just like the worst people. And I just had to let it go. And then a couple days later, came back to it. It was so much better. So I really encourage you that if you are having like drama or conflict, and this could be in particular with women or just that feminine energy somehow, because it's Venus retrograde coming up pretty soon now, try and just like, if you're not getting what you want, or you're not feeling like you're communicating well, or that you are communicating well with one another, because this card here with this Five of Swords is definitely like conflict energy with these people. Okay. You could see like they all have different opinions, and it's like they're not on the same page. Even the cats are like all looking in different directions, you know. So as these situations come up, really do what you can to be like, you know what, and it does take strength to do this, but to just be like, you know what, I'm not going to get what I want. I'm not going to get what I want right now from this. So I'm just going to let it go and just come back to it in a couple days. Maybe it's just not the right time, but sometimes you do have to just surrender to the fact that like, sometimes you're not in that vibration. You're not going to be able to access what you want, the clarity you want. Okay. Especially when you do feel like you're getting defensive or the other person's getting defensive. It's going to be really, really hard for you to push past that and get to like a loving, peaceful solution if you're in this vibe with this Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. If you're feeling defensive and you're arguing with one another, no. So take a break, okay? Take some space from the social media accounts if it's through social media. Even just like a day or 2 days can work wonders, because remember, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So sometimes it's also like the moon's involved, and that's our emotions, and like you're having a difficult moon sign transit right now, but they're not, and like you got to wait for a better one. So just give it a little time and then come back to it. And you know, for some of you it might be more time is needed. Maybe you need to take space from this person or these people for like a week or 2 weeks or longer, because there's just like too much there with it, you know. But don't be afraid to take that space to detach and to chill about it. This is a super card about like rest and let it go. Even like the cat is resting too. So, you know, take time to just be like snuggling and spending time with your fur kiddos and your children, and like those that are just that supportive, nurturing vibe, and get back to that energy of like love and kindness. And then from that, you can then assess. Okay, so let's do the Astro Dice for you guys pile 2 peeps. Okay, so we have Moon in Sagittarius. I am also thinking, as I was just rolling the die, I was thinking of the fact that Saturn will be squaring Uranus for the 3rd and final time of this year. We will have a little bit of it next year in the fall, but that's going to be a very major aspect, and that's occurring literally on like Christmas Eve. There's a lot of astrological energy happening from like December 23rd through December 25th. Okay, so there could be something there with like squabbles around the holidays. And you know, there's always a way to detach and take space. Even if you're like in the same house or the same room, you can still get out of the room. You can go to the bathroom, you can go outside, you can go for a walk around the block. There's always a way to detach. Okay, so it could be related to that as well. But Moon and Sag, this is definitely about like practicing, you know, just, where did it go? The moon is just gone. Oh, this is my Sag shy. I was looking at the wrong one. So Moon and Sag. Okay, so this is about being happy, being optimistic, definitely tapping into this like journeying and exploratory vibe here about, you know, tapping into that passion. Okay, and with the fourth house here, this relates to home and family. So yeah, there could be some stuff here that is related to home and family as a part of this whole equation. And it's interesting too, because like Moon, Sag, fourth house is also about like detachment from, in not really detachment, but like travel energy related to home and family. So there could be something here where it's like you're traveling with family or you're traveling to see family, you know, and maybe that's part of like the stressors, okay, or that's part of your excitement vibes. Some of you, that could be what you're excited about, but then you've got conflicts going on in your friend group, but then love life is getting better. So you guys have like multiple different parts of this reading, but the biggest message is like, keep doing what you're doing with this stuff, keep nourishing this connection because this is looking real good. And then as these situations, these squabbles come up, and this might be with people that you really don't know very well. Like I said, me talking to like customer service people or whatever. So it could be like, doesn't have to be friends or family. It could just be like women of the world in general that you encounter, you know, or just people in general. I'm saying women a lot because it's Venus retrograde. And typically if it's a Venus retrograde, there's more stuff that's coming up with women. If it's Mars retrograde, there's more stuff that's coming up with men, you know. And as a general rule, whatever the retrograde sign is there, it's always good to try to provide more support to that particular one. So for Venus retrograde, women typically are going through it a little bit more and they need more support there. And then Mars retrograde, men need more support there. And I'm using the genders, but you can identify and apply even just like that energy to that equation as well, you know. But yeah, this is definitely like, as this is going down, detach, 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 come back to it later, take space, and then reassess, okay? Don't get sucked into it and feel like, oftentimes when we get into an argument or a fight, part of what's perpetuating the fight is the need that the two people are trying to like resolve it when they're in like the wrong vibration to resolve it. And that's oftentimes like not a good part of the story. So this is a lot about just like, let it go and come back to it later when you feel like you can better approach it with better energy, you know. So that's what I have for you, pile 2 peeps. I'm sending you so much love and light. Please drop a supportive, loving comment down below. I love hearing from you guys and how you relate to the pile picks. It makes me want to come back and record more videos. I say that every time, but I really, really mean it. And it would mean a lot to me if you can also check out the links in the description, check out my Etsy shop. There's my website. You can sign up for my email newsletter. My PayPal's there. You can drop me a donation. You can also check out my Patreon and join that to support me with all of the constant needs and so many different things that go on with running this channel. And I will see you guys at the next new/full moon. All right, pile 3 peeps. These are the cards for you. I really enjoyed pile 2's reading. Pile 1's was a little heavy. So let's see what we got for you, pile 3 peeps. But I'm already feeling what the energy theme is of this pick card. I'm actually writing it down as we speak. So let me first just take a peek at what your cards are and acclimate to their energy. You guys did have a couple extra cards come out. I'm also going to pull from Chakra Love. For some reason, this pick a card video has worked out to be like a much longer one. I just can't see what I'm shuffling down here. I don't want to do more than 2. These cards even want to come out in like 3s and 4s and 5s. And I'm like, yeah, it's a no. It's a no for me. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay. So let me take a second here to acclimate. Sometimes I lay out the cards and then I need to like rearrange a little bit. All right, let's see. So angels, where do you want me to start with? Okay, they want me to start over here. Okay, so for you pile 3 peeps, there's definitely this vibe of like you're in your head a lot. You could be thinking about a lot, and this could be causing you a certain degree of anxiety because you literally have the anxiety card, okay, from the energy oracle cards. Card number 18. So that does sum to a 9 in numerology, which is a lot about karma and endings and beginnings. It's the energy that we're at when we're at the end of the cycle before we get back to the beginning, right? Like 0/1. Now you also pulled the root chakra card safety, and the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe, but you did pull this in reverse. Okay, so there's something here that it's like you just don't feel like you are safe or grounded right now, and that's kind of what's causing this anxiety. It's interesting too, I'm really drawn, I haven't noticed this before. It's just so interesting when you read cards, you can see different things every time, but I'm really drawn to the lightning bolt in the background. So there could be kind of like tower moments going on. You know, people use the tower card to indicate like a dramatic life event, and it absolutely is that. But in my experience, the tower card and the tower vibes can also be like a tower day, a tower night. Sometimes something can just come in really quick, and it doesn't have to be like hugely dramatically changing of our life, but it can be enough that it can really shake us to our core. And I was saying in pile 2's reading a bit, for they had it in a very different way, but you know, next week over the Christmas break, right, especially like December 23rd, 24th, and 25th, we do have Saturn squaring Uranus, and we have a lot of tricky energy going on around those days. So there will be a little bit of like a battle of the gods with Saturn squaring Uranus. Exactly. We've been going through this all year long. You've probably heard me talk about this many times, especially if you're an astro fairy. I've like talked about it, feels like a million times by now. That's because this particular aspect has occurred 3 times this year, and we're completing the 3rd of them for this year. So it's kind of a big deal, you know. So there's something going on here which is making you feel a bit unstable. It's making you feel kind of anxious, you know. You do have the strategy card here, card number 21, but I'm actually really drawn to the words journal here. So I think something that would really help you with all of this anxiousness and feeling ungrounded is to take time to just write things out. If you're anxious about bills, literally take time to write out exactly how much money you need. Come up with a strategy where you talk to the universe about like, I need exactly this. Get very specific, you know. I recently did this and it was amazing, like the magic that it invoked, but like get really specific, be treat it very seriously. Like don't just round up or approximate, like specifically go into those bills and find out exactly the amounts and total them up, and then be like, universe, this is what I need, you know, plus maybe a little more. If it's, you know, not bills, but it's something else, like trying to plan an event or something, like how can you get more and more specific and write it down is really what I feel this card is trying to say to you about, okay, with this anxiousness here and strategy. It's like use the power of like fingers to keyboard, pen or pencil to paper to help you with this anxiousness and write it out. And also that helps you get out of your head and into like a different medium, which can be really helpful too when you're trying to like move the energy. We also have enter the chamber of healing, healing in the divine chamber of the Lady Isis. Okay, so this to me looks like almost like a portal, and that there's initiations here. Let's see what we have in the guidebook for this card. So we have enter the chamber of healing. A spiritual gift of healing is coming to you now. Be open without expectation or preconceived notions, and allow the healing from the Lady Isis, mistress of magic, to help you find the best solution for any situation that does not appear to be as it should be. Take your time and create space into which her magic and energy can flow now. Then you can expect your miracle. Healing happens most powerfully when there is space, openness, and allowing. We let go for healing to flow. Time and sacred space will help you receive the inner adjustments that you need for the healing magic of the Lady Isis to be able to reach you with full boldness and genius. And there's always an incantation I love. There's a lot that goes along with this book, I will say though. Healing comes, healing flows, healing blossoms, and it shows. I thank Lady Isis for her love and light, her healing gift through spiritual night. Brings me now to the light of this day, and healing blossoms without delay. So I feel like for you guys, this is about creating space to whether this be through a journaling practice or just time spent meditating at your altar, there is a need here to create space, okay? To create space to work on this strategy. And to really treat this like strategy work as a sacred thing that you enter into. Because I think that as you do these things where you create this space and you also strategize and write things down and plan things out, you're going to find that it's, you know, take it as it resonates. Obviously, I'm not a medical doctor, but I do struggle with anxiety myself. So speaking from experience, I know that if I write things down, sometimes I'll be stressing about like bills or money or how much is in my bank account. And then I actually am like, okay, well, let's just look at it and see. And then I'll be like confronted with the true facts. And then you can work with those true facts, right? But it's far worse to just be like all up in your head about it instead of just really trying to get specific. And then from there, you can strategize and you can get specific with the universe about like, this is the support that I need. Like, provide me with this, you know? And like I said, I did this recently. I actually typed out an itemized invoice to the universe. And I literally wrote across the top invoice to the universe, and it was itemized. And it was amazing, the magic that manifested in that space that I created with that strategy. Called it in like real fast. Some stuff happened. So, but the key was getting specific and really taking time to dedicate time and energy to that space. And even if it's just like you're just trying to manage like a lot of responsibilities right now, or you have a lot that you're trying to plan or do, getting organized about it. You know, I'm speaking from experience, moving into a phase in my career life where I'm going to be managing lots of different things, you know. So I have my spiritual business and then managing like a different kind of work, you know, with different types of people and stuff. So, and it does require a lot about organization and communication for me to do it. So I've been finding treating kind of certain things as like sacred practices. Like every Monday, I have the specific project management board and I update that. Like every Friday, I delete emails I don't need and I do follow-ups, you know? So like creating these rituals to strategize and help you is like so helpful. Okay. And also just having patience with yourself that it takes time to get these systems in place. And I think that Venus retrograde, I know I'm totally seeing this now for myself as I talk this out, but also this may be the truth for you, that this Venus retrograde in Capricorn may be a lot about this for you. Creating the space, slowing it down to come up with the plan and the long-term strategy of how you're going to work through these things that maybe do cause you anxiety, you know, and just really trying to create those structures for yourself so that you can enjoy things more because you created a structure around it, you know. Now, we do have some other cards here. You guys have a lot of different cards that came through. So, well, it's interesting. So you did get moving forward fearlessly. Okay. Which I don't feel like this energy over here is this kind of vibe. So this to me is about one life area. And this came up in pile 2 where there was like 3 distinct like energy streams I was tapping into. So for you guys, like with this moving forward fearlessly, this might be about a different life area. Okay. And we do have the 2 of Cups here, which is a lot about like beautiful partnerships. This could be business partnerships. This could be romantic partnerships, but moving forward with the right people, the right match for you. Okay. And we have Knight of Pentacles. So this is a lot about, it is interesting. It's a lot about strategy, I will say, and planning. Okay. So these right partnerships that are aligning for you, you're moving forward with them. But it is requiring that patience, that planning, that stability. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving of the knights, but he's on a very steady and clear path. Like, I'm going this way, I'm doing this thing. This is how I do it. And I'm always willing to kind of like grow and learn, you know, because he wants to become like deeper versions of Pentacles energy. He wants to become like the, you know, the King of Pentacles. That's like what he wants to be, right? So this to me is like a beautiful growing energy of just like moving forward, aligning with the right people, offering up being offered the resources you need to make that happen and moving forward kind of as together, you know. There's so much going on even in just these 3 cards, but it's a beautiful mashup of like aligning with the right people and moving forward, even though it might be a little slower than you would like, you know. And we do have 3, again, kind of like another energy stream here. So we have oneness, who are part of the universe and always will be. We have freedom. And then we have beauty, okay? as I'm looking at this, I'm getting a huge nudge for myself about something. So let me just take a sip of my tea here. So I feel like with this beauty card, it's saying like, don't underestimate the power of like little beauty rituals. You know, like tonight, I know it doesn't look it because I was talking about this in one of the other piles, but you know, because like the lighting kind of washes out a lot of like makeup you put on, but I don't have a ton of makeup on, but I definitely have like some really cute makeup, a little bit more than I've like basically I haven't worn makeup for days like this week because I've just been so hard working on different things. And wow, like just the act of like putting on some mascara, putting on some blush, putting on some lip balm, you know, and lip gloss and like eyeshadow and like all of that, just and then taking a step back and being like, yeah, like, you know, I mean, I'm a Libra rising and I have South Node in Libra. So I'm always like thinking about what I'm going to wear and like the rings, the jewelry I'm going to wear. So I've always got that. Like, I'm usually pretty good at plugging into that. But when I do take that extra time to maybe like put on a little bit of makeup and just do a little bit extra, I feel much better, you know, because I feel like more put together. So with this beauty card, it's saying like, don't underestimate the power of like those simple beauty rituals to make you feel better. Putting on some earrings, you know, painted, like I painted my nails tonight, which again, the lighting kind of washes it out. I put on some SG tattoos, but this is my crystal infused nail polish from Roxx Polish, which I highly recommend her work. And I do actually have a coupon code you can use. It's in my Eco Fairy guide, which should be linked in the description, but even just something as simple as like brushing your hair, you know, brushing your hair, but just that body care, that beauty plus body care can be really magical here. And I think that as you do these things with the freedom card, you know, it's interesting because the card says freedom, but she's in a cage, you know, which being someone that does suffer from anxiety, I know what anxiety feels like. And I can tell you, it is this energy of feeling trapped, you know, feeling like you don't have a way out, not feeling safe, you know, with this root chakra in reverse. So because this is the energy you're trying to like really like moderate here, you're trying to work on feeling more free and feeling less trapped. I think that you guys have to work on creating the sacred space to tap into those routines. Okay, this is a big reading around routines and creating the sacred space to understand what are the routines I'm going to do every week. And maybe it doesn't look the same every day. Maybe it's something you do on Mondays and then it's a different thing on Fridays, but creating that space, scheduling it in, setting a timer, setting a notification, reminding yourself about it. Okay. And I think that that's going to be really helpful for you with this anxiety. If you're stressed about bills, well, what is the exact amount that you need? What are the days that the bills are due? You know, just getting really strategic and really serious about it. And, serious, when I say serious, I mean like serious with the universe about helping you call in that support. Okay. And over here though, you have this beautiful energy of like the right people coming in, the right resources to help you move forward here. And, you know, it's a little bit at a slower pace, but it is for sure on track towards being a really good situation. So you guys absolutely do have good things going on in your life to tap into, but there is just a need here to take some space to work on some rituals, whether they be beauty rituals, financial rituals, organization strategies, exercising more, scheduling in that exercise time, but like just being really serious with yourself about like how to strategize that and how it's going to look for you, you know. And I love in Google Calendar, you can set something to like repeat as well. So because it's exhausting to have to like keep recreating stuff. So use that power, you know, of like, scheduling like that thing that you're going to do and like scheduling it like, yes, I want this to repeat like every Monday for like the next 11 times and then reassess after 11 times kind of thing, you know. Speaking of notes, this is triggering aha moments about me with some stuff. And I always get downloads when I do these readings for you guys to capture them. So lastly, I want to do astro dice for you all. So let's do 3 rolls of the die, which is what I like to do here. And also just make sure you do watch from the beginning if you did skip the beginning, because I talked about a lot of business updates, including the fact that I'm doing a Yule sale right now in my Etsy shop. And I did a walkthrough of it and readings I would recommend right now. So please do check that out if you missed that. But you guys have Moon in Gemini. Okay, and this is in the first house, coming up in the first house here. So the first house is about, the self-identity, and Moon and Gemini, this can be a challenging placement for the moon because it's putting the energy of the moon, which is Cancer, right? Which wants to feel safe and comfortable. And it's putting it with Gemini, which is very like stimulating and curious and like wants to be like, it wants to be like stimulated is like the best word, really. So it's a lot about like mental like loop-de-loops and like thinking about things. But when it's put with the moon, it can be challenging because it's occurring more subconsciously. So this type of energy, Moon and Gemini people can be people that are like really like behind the scenes, like super in their heads. They can be like changing their moods a lot because Gemini is a mutable sign. They can be like quickly thinking about things. Like it can be, even talking about it makes me a little bit anxious. I'm a moon in Libra, so I'm a fellow air sign, but Moon and Gemini can be quite stressful, and there is a need here to tap into the more positive aspects of that, which would include the communication piece and the strategy piece, with these right people, with these right things. There's a way to use the strength of that Moon and Gemini for good. And then there's a way to use it that's like, stress inducing. Okay. So this is just like another heads up on like, you need to try to get out of your mental loop-de-loops and into like the spreadsheets and into like the pen and paper to help you with channeling that energy. Okay. And this is a full moon in Gemini. So this might be something that if you do already have a lot of Gemini energy in your chart, or you're someone that already kind of has anxious energy, this might be something that you're kind of working through during this lunar cycle. And then once we get to the new lunar cycle, which will technically be, I think it's like New Year's Day, like right around there. And believe it's a new moon in Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken. That's definitely going to shift the energy again. So this might be something more short term for you, where it's a little bit more kind of hectic, and then you're going to be moving out of it. But for now, it's teaching you about strategizing and being patient with the process with certain people and moving forward and creating that space to be organized, to be clear about what you want and organize your thoughts. Okay. So sending you so much love, pile 3 peeps. Please drop a supportive, loving comment down below. It helps support my channel and it makes me want to come back and record more videos. I say that every time, but it's really, really true. When I see you guys relating to the readings, it helps me see like, wow, it's so amazing how I'm channeling these readings by myself. And then you guys listen and you're like, wow, I can super relate to that because of this, or just like the love and the appreciation. See, I'm getting all into this Gemini vibe, talking too fast. I'm not a Gemini, I'm a Virgo, but Geminis. So it makes me want to come back and record more videos, because I see that you guys are really just like enjoying them and achieving value and meaning from them. And yeah, that's what I have to say there. Also, check out in the description, there's a link to my Etsy shop. I'm doing that Yule sale, which is 25% off purchases of $25 and up. And that's running through, I believe it ends like New Year's Eve. Of course, make sure you sign up for my email newsletter list, because that's where I always share about like the latest things. And you're welcome to leave a donation. My PayPal's linked there, as well as my Patreon, which is a great way to support my channel. And once I get to a certain number of Patreon members, I'll start recording videos just for you guys in Give Back Berry. And you can also see my membership groups in the Patreon as well. That might be a really good way to treat yourself for the new year. So check that out. Much love.